Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel on this very chilly, cold Sunday. I just wanted to quickly pop on and give you guys my quarterly TBR. I used to be in the mind frame or the mindset that I should do a monthly TBR, one for January, one for February, one for March. And I did do that in 2022, but then fell off because I felt like it was a little bit too unsustainable and, it was just a little bit too much. So what I decided to do for this year is to kind of like chunk it as if I'm a businesswoman, a CEO of a big, large booktube company. I am doing it quarterly. So I'm going to do it the first quarter, which is going to be January through March, and then the second quarter, so on and so forth until we get to the final quarter. And I think that's a little bit more of a reasonable and definitely more of an easier bite for me to take instead of trying to do a TBR every single month because it can be a little bit exorbitant. I wanted to show you guys the shirt that I got for Christmas. Of course, it's been months ago, but it says, "I want my MTV." It is one of the coolest shirts I've ever received. I love, love, love this thing. Yeah. And it's a song from Dire Straits. It's called Money for Nothing. I love that song so much. And I love it even more because my mom likes it so much. If you guys hear a morning dove out there, apologies. They're just, doing their thing. But yeah, I wanted to just pop in here and just kind of go over some of the books that I'll be tackling for these few months. I've already started reading some books, but I do, as I've done in the past, I want to walk around the apartment and just pick a few books and tell you the kind of mood I'm in. Of course, it is winter, so there are no leaves out there. It's snowing, it's dreary and cold. Sometimes you have a little bit of sun, sometimes you don't. But yeah, I am definitely thinking of doing a huge classic this year, and I'll talk about that in just a second. So I wanted to pop in here and show you The Velveteen Rabbit by Margery Williams. There it is, Margery Williams. It's this isn't this just so precious? It actually kind of matches me as well.
Oh my gosh, look at us. Matchy green, matchy green squared.
But yeah, I love the idea of having this book in my collection because I want to kind of like work on writing some, something small, maybe a small children's book one day. I don't know. And I wanted to just absorb some interest and be inspired by children's literature. So I did end up getting The Velveteen Rabbit. So that's one of the books that I'll be reading this year for sure. Or not this year, but this quarter. And then I started The Red Badge of Courage on a road trip. That's going really well. I am really loving it so far. And then you guys, oh my gosh. I'm so silly. This is what happens when you do like a lot of book shopping for sure. You don't necessarily know what you got. I have 2 copies of Agatha Christie's and then there are none. This is actually the copy that I would prefer because it is far bigger. You see? Compared to like a little bit of a pocket mass market type of book. So that's definitely something that we're gonna do in the next like coming weeks. I'm so excited and thinking of possibly maybe visiting a beautiful castle mansion type of place here in Long Island, New York. So look out for that video. It's coming eventually. I haven't gone yet, and I need to book that stay. But let's go ahead and take a look around the apartment to see what else we can grab and add to our pile on the couch. I've missed this so much. Because we are in the dead of winter, I wanted to pick up Les Miserables by Victor Hugo as one of the first books that I'll do. In my reading goals, I had 2 Alexander Dumas's books. Dumas books, and then I had 2 Victor Hugo books. So for this period of the year when it's super cold and everybody seems to be quite miserable, because you can be when it's that freezing out, I wanted to pick up Les Miserables. So I'm going to add that to my TBR pile. So much. It was good. Sam's Letters. This is a great one to read during the cold days. Sam's Letters to Jennifer by James Patterson. Such a good book, guys. Put it back in the blue zone. Let's see, what else do we want to do? I'm looking for some wintry-esque books, important to me. Let me keep looking. Just looking through the shelves, you guys, trying to see if I can find the ocean theme because it is nautical season in my home right now. You guys already know the deal. I'm not gonna repeat it again. I don't want to hear about this ever again. Not even when she tell them that they better. I feel like I repeat myself so much. But oh, actually, you know what? One of the books from last year that I didn't get a chance to read was The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. So I don't know, this is supposed to be somewhat of a creepy chiller thriller type. Has more fun with unreliable narration than any chiller since Gone Girl. And speaking of Gone Girl, I'm gonna grab that. I feel like those two go hand in hand.
Go together like the horse and carrot.
So I had it right here in my shelf. I do this so that way I can remember where it was so I can put it back. So yeah, let's add this to the pile as well. I've been wanting to read this for over a year, and I think I'll do this since the sun is setting so early. We should try to get this done as well. And try to remember also, this is a quarterly TBR, so I have 3 months to actually read these works. It's not something that I'm trying to do in like 2 weeks or 1 month even, because that alone, the Victor Hugo Les Miserables, would just take me a long time. And also, I'm so excited about, I'm gonna set you guys down here. I'm so excited about actually annotating my books. I saw a video that Carolyn did, and she is so good at like slowing things down and trying to explain it for like a beginner. I haven't annotated something in a very long time, since maybe high school, and I feel like that can help me with my wrap-ups and my explanations a lot better if I'm able to actually pinpoint certain things. So, you know, I bought the little tabs, and I'm not going to be writing in my books because I don't know. I don't want to say it's sacrilegious, but it's just not my thing. I feel like if somebody else in my family wants to read that book, because obviously whatever I have, they have, if they want to read that book, I don't want writing or highlights to be in that work, even if, you know, generations down. I don't know, I just prefer it. It's a little neater, and I have a little bit of an OCD thing about it. So hopefully the tab system will help me keep my thoughts straight. Yeah, so here they are. These are the ones that I ended up getting off of Amazon for like $8 or $6 or $7, something like that. Between $6 and $8. I'm not sure what these are for exactly. How do you use these, guys? Maybe you can help me. Teach me. Could you teach me? Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to start annotating and just like putting little tabs on everything, keeping tabs on my books. Why am I such a nerd?
Canis Majoris, Leo, Taurus. That rhymes.
I should throw the tabs onto the pile as well. Little dust flying. Yeah, like certain colors will be for certain moods. Like if you want to highlight, meaning like to mark off something interesting, like a beautiful quote or something funny or something that has to do with the plot, character development, something with romance, something with the antagonist, you can do that with your little tab. So I'm so excited to try to do something like that, you know? I did get distracted by Paula Hawkins' The Girl on the Train, and I forgot to go look for Moby Dick, and I'm trying to see if I can find the Light Between the Oceans type of book that I've been wanting to read since like January of last year. So what is wrong with me? Yeah, as I said, every little nook and cranny gets used for books. I don't know if you guys can recall, a lot of these were like from my book haul, but I have Motherless Brooklyn that I wanted to take out. And then I also have The Terminal List by Jack Carr. You guys, I just watched the little series on, let me just take this pile. So that's the first, I think, in the series. And then there goes Moby Dick right there. Moby Dick. Yeah, I grabbed them. But yeah, The Terminal List, it is such a cozy, violent show.
Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. Acid time is running now.
Yeah, it's very violent. Oh my gosh. Chris Pratt. He did something that I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever seen that on television, you guys. So The Terminal List basically follows this guy who was experimented on by his government, the US government. And they basically try to make him seem like he's insane. They try to wipe his memory and, you know, muddle his memories and just make him feel like he hasn't gotten his timeline and facts straight. So they're messing with him, okay? Like crazy experimental conspiracy type of stuff, you know? And then they end up killing his family. So a sicario, a hitman from Mexico, comes and kills his family, and of course somebody hires him, and he has a whole list that he's going through and he's crossing them off. It's the Terminal List. It's so good. But this is the thing that I never saw on television. I was like, whoa, I've never seen somebody cook rice like that before, kind of like that. Like,
thanks for dinner. I never saw anybody cook potatoes that way.
So the person who actually did the deed, who was directly involved in killing his actual family, which is a daughter and wife, he finds them, he hunts them down, tracks them down in Mexico, and he ties them up and then he disembowels them. I was like, did you hear my jaw? No, God, no. I was like, oh my God, like he pulls out his intestines. And it was just one of the most gruesome things I've ever seen on television. I was like, wow. But it was great though, meaning like very unique. Like even Yellowstone doesn't do that. Okay, we're gonna take a look at the red cabinet here. One of my favorites, the Billy bookcase. See if there's anything in here that might spark our interest. So I have Narnia in there. I don't feel like really opening it up, but I definitely will add Narnia to my list as well. I'm trying to see if I can maybe read Prince Caspian next. I ended up finding Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. So this book is definitely giving the psychopathic,
Psychotic little bastard!
kind of suburban Massachusetts town, affluent Connecticut kind of feeling, you know, where it's void of color. So yeah, I'm gonna add that to the pile as well. Let me know what you guys are gonna be reading as well, so that way maybe we can do a little bit of a, you know, just a general kind of buddy read, nothing too serious. I picked up actually a couple of suggestions from some folks in the comment section. I got the Rose Code, and this has to do with some women in the 40s. I was gonna say 60s, the 40s or 50s. It's like a war type of story, so I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I picked that up via Libby, and so far so good. Very clean and great writing, and of course I always do the ebook and the audiobook, so it's very clean writing, it's very immersive, and I feel like I can see the 40s uniform and the feeling of telecommunications and war all over the book, so it's very good so far. And then another thing that I was thinking of picking up was this Audible stuff of a couple of the autobiographies that I've had on my Audible for a while, because I'm so silly. Like a few years ago when I was in school, I got an audiobook from Audible, and it was like a free trial type of thing, and then the trial ended, and then I never call myself lazy, but I'm so like unmotivated and unenthused to go do certain things, so I ended up leaving the Audible membership going for a year, and then I ended up with like 12 credits. I was like, oh gosh, I need to delete this thing already, you know, because I just needed it for one thing, and then eventually I had like 12 audio credits, and I was like, who am I gonna pick? And then at the time I was really intrigued with Trevor Noah and just autobiographies in general, and I was like, let me go ahead and take a look at some of the popular ones. And yeah, so they just basically have been collecting dust in the Audible area of the internet, just waiting for me to blow off the dust and start listening and reading these particular books. So at the moment I'm getting very thirsty, so we're probably gonna go make something to drink, something very simple of course, and then I'll come back and wrap it up with you guys. Okay, what mug do I want to use? I have Chip, who I haven't used in a very long time. I'm feeling a little devious. Let's use this one, Star Labs. I got this at Home Goods a little while ago. I just love it. Isn't that so pretty? So stunning. Disney, and it's microwave safe, which is just what I like. So let's put that here. I had to get another one of these. Love it. Love this. It's gonna start boiling. Do you see that already? Look at that. Okay, while that's happening, let's get some tea. I was thinking, don't say lemongrass, don't say lemongrass. I was thinking maybe, yes, lemon ginger.
They're so different.
Lemon ginger, probiotics. Let's add that. It smells so good. All right, here we go, we're bubbling. I'm so silly. Okay, let's take our tea. Oops, sorry. Let's take our tea to the living room and close out this video. All right. Oh God, it smells so good. So good. Just what you need for a very chilly day. Oh yes, I have HP right here because I always film in this spot right here. So those are the books that I've piled on. I also, of course, am continuing Harry Potter. I just wrapped up the Nicholas Flamel chapter and it was very just simple and quick. Nothing too particular. We found out that Nicholas Flamel was Dumbledore's friend. He's like an alchemist, and yeah, if you want any more details about that, go check out the Harry Potter video. We'll link it, of course. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna add Harry Potter to the pile. Just imagine that. Got Gone Girl, Gillian Flynn. Motherless Brooklyn by Jonathan Latham. Terminal List, Jack Carr. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawken. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Cannot wait for this one. And of course, there are some books that I wasn't able to find, you know, because the apartment's still a little bit messy. We'll get to them. And also, there are some audiobooks that are, you know, on my list too. Les Mis by Victor Hugo, Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Velveteen Rabbit by Margery Williams. Stephen Crane's The Red Badge of Courage. And that's it. And then we have my little tabs that I'm going to use to mark for annotating the books. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what you're going to be reading this season, and I will be back with another TBR around April. Yeah, so that we can do April, May, and June for the second quarter. I already know one book that I want to read. It is going to be The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas, because it feels very much so like English courtyards and French courtyards, and spring is upon us, and maybe I might include a Jane Austen book as well. Pride and Prejudice. Is it by her? Guys, don't. I've never read it. I'm sorry. Don't come for me. Okay, I can't wait to read that because it's about spring and blooming. It just feels like that's what it is, you know, love is in the air. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in my very next one. Bye.